Hello everybody and welcome to this highly important video. This was very delayed because guys, it took very long time to make, and that's why I didn't do it right after the CV. But now let's jump into this. It's cover letter and also training list that I was speaking about earlier in my videos. Uh, and actually cover letter is something that you will also need, and you need loads of different ones to change a couple of things here in this every cover letter that you send out basically to a different company to show that they are special. But anyways, this is something that you will always have to have unless it's very easy apply like through LinkedIn or something sometimes. But even then, maybe some candidates with a cover letter will be better off than you were. Because, if your CV is very general, they might put it to the correct pile, but then they will check that, oh, this guy didn't have a cover letter. Why would I ever like pick them over the others? I think it's a little bit, you kind of always need it, no matter what. If you are applying internally, externally, you're always going to need a cover letter to show that you are motivated to do this and show off your strengths and stuff like this, because in CV it doesn't really display them that well. So that's what cover letter is usually for. It's about making yourself known. And sorry if you guys don't agree with this awesome face here, but I was just putting it because, other than that, it's basically just a dull plain text here in this video, since there's no photos that I can put here, and that's pretty bad. So I just wanted to cheer you up, guys, and give something to look at all the times, to make basically, let's make an awesome cover letter and awesome training list, right? Let's jump right into this. So I was putting it together for a long time because I kind of like investigated which ones are the better cover letters, what of those are free, because sometimes you have to pay for the good cover letter example or this blank that you can basically use. But I was seeing it as maybe I can find something that will be okay. And actually, I think I did. So this one is a very basic, like it's not basic cover letter, but it's a pretty good one in my opinion. It turned out pretty good. So I'm not sad about it. And as you can see, the first things that is very important to notice is this what day it is. You always have to change it every day that you apply, because tomorrow might be 23rd November, that you will have to basically also list that date over there, and that shows that you are basically always keeping it updated, that they are not speaking with anybody that is basically done their cover letter like, I don't know, 6 months ago and now sending a new one. And the date is also important because then they know that what kind of date were you actually applying it, and they don't have to search for it. It's also like easier for the employer. If they're going to see your CV and your motivation letter in one of these bundles, then it's easier for them that, oh, this guy applied like 22nd of November, rather than to search for it. Because sometimes they have those rounds, and some people have already proceeded in the rounds, getting further and further all the time, and the others are like getting into these interviews later, and it can be very confusing and time consuming for the company as well. So it's good to basically mark the date here. And as I was putting the name for it, was cover letter Kira Smila. Kira Smila is, for those that you don't know, is she's the example from the previous video that I made for the CV, and this is just some made up name and made up character. So I guess that's just that we're going for. And the second part here is this company's name. So Kira Smira was this electrical engineer, as you can see here. That this is her wished position that she is going to apply to. And apparently the company called Lamar Energy in Germany is offering her or like searching for an employee for their job. So Kira Smira was actually thinking that okay, might as well apply and see how it goes. So yeah, let's jump onto the next one. It's Dear Hiring Manager. Now, I highly suggest you to use Hiring Manager because you might your CV might be checked by many people at the same time, including those that are in your department or are going to be in your department, and HR and everybody like that. So hiring manager is this kind of like, you kind of respect them, that you are putting them in a structure wise in a higher place. And why this is important is that nobody wants to feel threatened by you. Even if you're like electrical engineer, you have to show some subtleness, since unless they are like really on it and they are looking for some manager kind, and this kind of guy that is bossy and stuff like that, then maybe it's good to bring out. But I wouldn't bring it out, because they're in the company. When you apply to a company, there is usually going to be bigger names than you are in this company, no matter which kind of position are you going to apply to. And in this way, you are also showing some respect to the HR. For example, like HR might be feeling very, great that somebody is calling her like a hiring manager instead of just like hiring hirer or something like that. They just have HR. It's something special already. And also, it's not good to put like dear Mr. or Mrs. or something like that, because that's how everybody else does it. So you have to kind of like stand out in a way. I think hiring manager is also put by others also, but still, it's something more special than Mr. or Mrs. or how you call it, like Mrs. Smith or Mr. Smith. It's sometimes there's many people watching it and your motivation letter, and then you're calling everybody like Mr. Smith or something, and it kind of gives the wrong idea right off the bat already. Yeah, so that's what I want to say, that in the motivation letter, usually it has to show that you are a little bit subtle to the others, because you will have managers to you. You will have, even if you are like a middle manager or something, there will be higher managers and management board and everything, like directors. There will always be somebody that is higher, and that's why I want to share this knowledge with you, because this is something that is people feel it like a subconscious, and when you make them a compliment, then they will feel great. I mean, who wouldn't want to be like in a position that they have power over somebody, especially when they are already managers. So yeah, they wouldn't be managers if they wouldn't want to have power in the company. So yeah, I highly recommend this one. And yeah, let's go continue with this. Basically, I saw the opening. I saw the opening is a okay way to start. I think not the best way to start. I think I could improve this, but as I said also in CV, it's something like you don't really need to put too much of an effort to it. It doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be good. And while it's good, it's already good to go. And I don't think that if you're putting like better word than opening there, then you will have more chances than me. So yeah, I think Kira, I think opening is a great way to describe yourself, or like I saw an opening from somewhere, right? Yeah, it's for the electrical engineer in LinkedIn, because usually people apply through LinkedIn nowadays. But of course, if you saw it somewhere else, I highly suggest you to put some other places there that gives you more information, and it's more special. Maybe through the homepage, it's then you had the personal interest in their homepage also, can be good. And thought I should apply. Yeah, thought also is not the best way to describe, but I think it's okay way to describe it, because you need to be pretty formal with this, of course, but you don't need to go across the bar with your formality, because then it would be very difficult to read. And basically, the managers, they, as I said, also they don't have time to read those things all the time. So just display your best parts and parts of this industry in your cover letter. So doesn't need to be like fully formal, like 100% formal, because cover letter is also showing your personality, and that needs to come out from this. That's the idea of this, that if you fit to the team or you don't fit to the team. If you are always going to be polite at your job, maybe you don't like this job anymore, because you don't like all this politeness there and back, because it's taking too much time and stuff like that. So there might be many ways why it's okay to have it. And also, I think the best way to apply for something, if you're making a career, is internally candidating, what I'm speaking about. Let's say that this Llama Energy is having, Llama Energy is having a new position opened, that is not electrical engineer, but electrical manager, for example, and electrical department manager. And you are already electrical engineer in this company, you can apply to the electrical department manager, and there you can say that that this person recommended me to try. Of course, you will have to negotiate with them before, but usually it's good to put some higher in the hierarchy, maybe your own manager, or somebody that was a manager in your department, or the other department if your boss went away or something like this, or you was getting along with somebody that was also in a higher position at this time. Then you can basically mention them already in this that basically he or she introduced me this position and suggested me to apply. So yeah, it's a good way if you are applying internally also. That's why the cover letter is always changing, because it really depends if you are applying on externally or internally, and it cannot be like just send out like CV all the time. Every time this cover letter changes, and you will have more chances the more you change it, since they are seeing subconsciously that you are always changing it, you're always keeping it up to date. You are like focusing on their company, you are showing interest in their company, not on like 20 other companies, that you can say like some things for something that is 20 other companies also. I mean, you don't have to change everything in a cover letter all the time, but the basic points, like for example, if the position name is different, or the applying way is different, or somebody suggested you to apply. And also you will have to check the responsibilities and requirements for this position to show that you're really interested into this. Because right now I'm putting very general topic here, but sometimes it's good to mention those that are in the job post. So once you see in LinkedIn that the requirements are like 1, 2, and 3, then you should display those 1, 2, and 3 requirements in this motivation letter, that you already have them, and this feels like you. I didn't put it right into this, because that way I can have it just a decent one here, and it will be still okay. But at some point I'm thinking that there are certain positions that you will have to apply through their requirements, that they are really expecting somebody to meet their requirements instead of somebody new. There are positions that are like debatable. Let's say that they are telling you that you will need to have the education, but you don't need the education fully because you have to be willing to learn this position. If they're giving you the choice like that, then you can basically already apply with this kind of motivation letter or cover letter. However, if they are showing you that these requirements have to be fulfilled, don't even try to like apply if you don't fill those requirements, then it's going to be different, and you will need to specify that you are meeting those requirements in your cover letter, because that's what this manager obviously likes to see. And people, they watch the stuff that they like to see. That's why you cannot be too formal also, that I mentioned earlier, and yeah, many other things that are connected to this and taking a chain reaction. And I forgot to mention that after this cover letter we are going to, for the training list, that is going to be all the trainings marked, and I will see you the example of this kind of way that I discovered is actually a very good way. And this is not made by anybody's else's opinion, it's just made from my own thoughts actually, because I think cover letter and CV kind of since I did it plenty of times, it kind of like turned out to be like this. And I also saw some examples from the online and stuff, so this one seemed to be pretty good, and that's why I was doing this style. As for the electrical engineer position, I already see many ways to make business profitable. Now that's very good point here. If you see ways how to make business profitable, that's like your trump card that you can have, because what is the point of business is to make profit, and if you can already see ways how to make the business profitable, then they will like it, because they are going to save cost and stuff like that. They're going to have to like pay less taxes or whatever, sneak away from them or whatever. It's like many ways to do this. But Kira here is mentioning also sustainable and righteous. So righteous is something that is based on the law. There is some law regulating the electrical industry in Germany, and since she has read the law, she knows what kind of regulations are there, and she can bring a lot to the table of the employer already through that. And that's actually a very important point also, because if you're making business more righteous, that means that you have already been familiar with regulations, and not everybody knows about those regulations. Sometimes they don't, and sometimes they haven't read it, or they just read some certain parts of it. But if you have read everything and know what kind of like those, let's say that there will be some agencies or government companies, how you call them? I think they are agencies. But anyways, they are going to be checking on this company, and they're going to check not only the documentation, but also this in the physical life, how is it going to work. And if you know about those aspects already, then you will be good to go. I mean, you will be very appreciated in the company if you know what to focus on and what this kind of guys are going to check, or what is in the law that is needs to be. You need to have this and you need to have that to operate. It's good, and they will see that you are actually full into this, the employer. And sustainable. Yeah, sustainable, very important also, because nobody wants to give up their business. I mean, everybody defends their business. There has been some, mafias around the world that are threatening people because to keep their business. I mean, that's the way it is, and everybody wants to make profit and make regular profit, not just profit once and then sell the company. Nobody wants to do that. I mean, selling the company is a way to make profit also sometimes, but usually it's not, and they want to be having stable income from it. So sustainable, very good word here also to mention. And if you can give these three things to the business already, they will see that you are actually doing the correct things instead of focusing on pointless stuff. Yeah. So, and here on the second chapter, it's good always to mention that you are a quick learner. Quick and dedicated is another thing that shows your motivation, with abilities in effective project completion. So this effective project completion is the way that maybe Kira was learning in the university, that she worked as a team with somebody else and completed teamwork as being part of the team. It's already effective project completion and stuff like that. And also maybe in the last company that she worked for, that was what was it called? Good Energy, yeah. Maybe there also. And yeah, it's also good to mention that you have actually dealt with some projects, because I think this electrical industry is pretty much based on the projects sometimes. They go around that all the time. And project estimation, that's another thing that maybe can be estimating the time or the costs of the projects, if it's going to pay off or not. That's how you make it business profitable also, because sometimes in those projects, like in the, I think, electrical powerhouses, sometimes there is a lot of waste, and you know how to reduce this waste for the environment, to protect the environment and to protect the cost of the company, or cost that the company will see. So I think these are pretty good points here. And bidding. So yeah, it's like bidding is also sometimes far reached, but as electrical engineer I kind of think that you will need it, because you actually need to be the host of some projects, and be the project manager in a sense, but not all the time. So bidding is also important, because with bidding it's going to be big projects in the worldwide. I think there's a lot of bids in the army, in the road construction, in the electrical industry, you name it, and those big bids are worth a lot of money. So if you can win some bids, so yeah, it would be very good way to basically sell yourself, because you are bringing something to the company that nobody else can maybe bring. There's a lot of ands here. I think it would be like with commas would be better, but okay, let it be like this. Schedule and timeline management. That's another thing, that if you have timelines that you have to meet, and you know how to meet them in the time, it would be crazily good. And those timelines are everything sometimes, and especially for the managers, it matters a lot that you meet your timelines, and you are not leaving your duties to go overdue, because that shows how capable you are. So timeline management, very important. And another thing with it is sometimes it's going to be too fast of a timeline, then you will have to know how to ask for the extra time. I understand the value of time management and clear communication to get the projects done right. Yeah, so clear communication also. Time management I already covered. I maybe covered it too many times here. But clear communication, another topic that is actually always going to be your, coming from here and there. Clear communication between the parties and stuff like that, always going to be very important, because imagine this: if you have a plan and you don't communicate your plan to anybody, but you need a team to execute it, then this plan doesn't work, or maybe it works, but you did everything by yourself. You will have to communicate clearly to everybody, even if it's like elementary thing to do or something like basic thing to do. You always have to make sure that they get the information, because there was very difficult situations in my work life previously with this as well. I mean, I usually want to have clear communication, and I usually have the clear communication, but not all the time, because sometimes I think that some things go without saying, but actually they don't. So yeah, I think clear communication is the key here, and once you have this skill, once you are basically, well, it's not like, putting all the time like CEO of the company to the copy of the email, but I mean, still have some communication with your team. It's something that is very important, especially when you're doing, in a big group, the teamwork, because yeah, if there's like 2 or 3 of you, maybe everybody's doing the job, but 4 or more already starts to be like, some people do the job and some people just stand still and watch how others are doing it. So yeah, clear communication, and get the projects done right. Now, done right is without the mistakes, and with the right capabilities and right ways, so you don't waste any time on the background stuff, that you just need to do the necessary part. And then my adaptability to work in many different environments will be an asset to your team. So yeah, it's also adaptability very important, because the best workers are the ones that can adapt to every situation. If thing goes bad, then there will be many things that are going bad, and maybe there is too many things that are going bad, and you will explode from it. But sometimes some people don't explode, and they can adapt with the situation. They are saying that, yeah, okay, I have a lot of work to do, but I can do this. If you have this kind of mindset, and if you can adapt to a situation, if you don't take it personally, it will be very, very, how you say it, it will be an advantage to you. But yeah, I think adaptability is if you watch like the top sports, like football, right? I mean, think, why is Messi the best player in the world or something? It's because he can adapt with every situation. I mean, obviously, maybe he's not the best player anymore because he's getting old, but still, there are some arguments that he still might be the best player. So yeah, but that's just one example. Anyways, adaptability is something that you will need in the work life for sure. Even if you do just sports or physical work, adaptability will be what makes the best to be best. Because not everybody can do it, and it's human nature not to be very adaptable. But yeah, if you are, then it will be an advantage to you. I will leave it the scroller here, because then you can still see the face all the time. I mean, otherwise you will just get bored. If you get bored, you just can see the face and stuff, or go to sleep even. It's fine. You already listened to the first part. So yeah, let's see. Firstly, I would like to mention that at the moment there is a huge competition in the German electrical market due to its profitability. Now, this sentence says many things. This is actually sometimes offending the employer, and sometimes it's better not to mention. But on the other hand, kind of if you're applying to this kind of position like electrical engineer, then you already have to see that something is wrong and something needs to be fixed, and you need to do some job, not just to stand still. So if you can point out the bottlenecks already in your motivation letter or cover letter, it will be influential to the company, and they can see, oh, this girl can actually call us out, you know. This Kira is like calling us out right now, and to the reason as well, like she has a good reason to call us out, because there is maybe huge competition in the German electrical market. But who knows? Maybe there's I'm not sure actually. Maybe public sector is like doing it, but I don't really think so. I think probably is going to be private sector there, and that means that there will be a lot of guys offering this service, because something that is difficult to do, not many wants to do, but there is also difficult brings you profitability. So nowadays it's more like you know, all these industries are kind of inspected already, and there are some specialists in every industries and experts. So there are some people that earn profit from it, and they are scraping their profits with a rake every year. So yeah, those that do it can be very profitable. And I mean, utilities is something that each one of us is paying like every month anyways, when you live alone, when you don't live with your parents anymore. So yeah, I think it's you know, fair to say it that there's a huge competition, because it's a profitable business to do. That's a very good reason. And yeah, if you have those I don't know how they called, like refineries or power plants, yes, sorry. But anyways, yeah, if you have those things, then and you know how to kind of it operates, it's already an advantage for sure. And they are going to study like electrical engineering in universities for a reason, not because they maybe want to study it, but they know that it's profitable and somebody is getting profit from it. Of course, guys, it's very environmentally not friendly, but I mean, it's kind of where the profit lies, and you kind of people cannot live without electricity. Just easy as that, you know. I mean, even if it damages the environment, of course. I mean, many things damage the environment. Renewable energy is damaging environment in the way of production, right? So your production, those turbines or wind turbines or like hydro plants, or there's a lot of production done before it even happens. That already damages the environment. But people need electricity. You cannot be like working in the computer even if you don't have any electricity, or working like even charging your phone is impossible. So yeah, I mean, and you have to plug in the electrical car as well. So of course it's environmentally damaging, and we should save our environment. But guys, there's going to be those industrial companies no matter what, and you cannot do anything to basically close them down. The system is just too big for it, and people are scraping profits from it. And once you get to the people's wallets and kind of like try to block their wallets, they will have a problem with you, even if you're environmentally friendly, and you know, they will have a problem with you, because you're basically taking away their luxury, or maybe not even luxury. Some people are just working there and earning low wages, you know, and you're taking away their maybe bread and butter that they have used to get like every month, and provide for their families. So think about it in a bigger picture. So yeah, I just wanted to say that, but let's go continue with this. It's not for debating about the environment. And projects are released without considering carefully about safety aspects and the timeline pressures everyone. Okay, so actually, maybe the timeline doesn't pressure everyone, but projects are released without carefully considering about safety aspects. Now that's very very common problem in the world. Uh, I mean, what was it called? Like in Netflix, there was a show like about Ashley Madison or something. Yeah. So basically, as an example, I can bring you that. If you don't put money under your security or under the safety, then your company is in a very dangerous spot already, and something can happen basically any moment. Of course, you save the cost with not dealing with the safety aspects, but at some point it would be better and more profitable already to consider all the safety aspects in the first year, especially when you're a big company. Do it right already, and then next year's will be easier to modify those documents than to stall it until something really serious happens. But of course, like I think many of the company CEOs even think that human health or life is not important for them. Their own life is important for them. So that's how like is the sad reality usually. I'm not saying that everybody is not thinking about safety aspects, but there are many companies definitely that are not thinking about safety aspects. And I'm not sure if it's good to mention, but of course, like they do want to think about safety aspects just in a profitable way. So yeah, they need still somebody that thinks about safety aspects, because many of the safety aspects are connected with this righteous thing that about with the law, and timeline pressures everyone. Now that's another topic that is going to be timeline pressure all the time. Your workers are overworked, and things are released without careful consideration, and that's very bad basically, because if the things are not um, carefully considered, all the aspects, then the thing you can make it worse with your change, or you can waste the money with your change. And very easy example would be like in the German highways, maybe some highway might be very badly planned, or there's some dangerous spots there, and then if there is those spots there, then I mean, what was the point of the renovation anyways in the first place? If you didn't take out those points. So you also have to consider about bottlenecks, and not everybody does that. Everybody is going to release it because the timeline pressure is there, and the CEO is asking for the results for a year, and some things are delayed and delayed all the time. Yeah, so that's a very common mistake also in the companies. You basically in this chapter, I'm like calling out the company, but it's not always best to do. It depends on an employer, but I think here it shows kind of that you are actually thinking about these things. Of course, if you are applying to be like I don't know, some just a cashier or somebody, then you don't mention these things in your cover letter. But if you are like electrical engineer, I think you have to kind of mention some bottlenecks that companies have in order to shine out from the crowd, and the companies will get interested in reading, even if it's a bad reading, it will be memorable reading, and the more they think about you, the better, especially for this kind of thing, because maybe they will be getting offended at start, but after a few days they are going to forget about this offense and say that, oh, this girl catch my eye, this this Kira Smira that was calling us out, and actually maybe we should hire her because she's doing something well. The very easy example is that this I think somebody hacked was it Pentagon or anyways somebody hacked into some very important system, and he was hired later because he found the bottlenecks from there. So I mean anything can happen, and sometimes it's good to point out those because nobody else is going to do it. Everybody else is like only saying positive things. Yeah, and then you are going to be this solution-based mindset after. However, I would like to change that and take my experience as a customer service in an electrical company to make Lama Energy known for its safety in Germany and a good example in the whole world. Now that's a very good point, that what you're trying to change is that make it safer, make a good brand for this company, make it like the safest energy company in Germany. Would be very useful for this kind of thing, and I think it could work very well if you're offering already this kind of mindset, because this shows a very good motivation, and this shows that you have vision, you have a goal over that, your long-term goal that you are going towards too, and that shows that you are there for a long time work, not for short period that usually companies doesn't want you to work only there for like I don't know 7 months and then go for the next company. They usually want you for many years, and that's why I think it's also good to bring out. And this is why I'm now mentioning to you why is it important to build a cover letter that is good. It's not the perfect cover letter, but it's good. So that's why it's important, because you shine out from the rest already. With just calling them out and showing how motivated you are, you're also showing your vision in this. You are showing that you are familiar with different kind of things in the industry. That's already very, very important aspects that you have shown in this cover letter to the employer. Secondly, I would like this team to work more with physical workers. Now, that's very, very valid point as well. Why physical workers? Because actually how company gets rich is the physical workers. Now, in Amazon, for example, I always bring out Amazon or something. I think those that are working in the office are earning a lot more salary than those that are working in the warehouse or terminals, and the other thing is that they are not really, they have having this maybe conflict towards between the office people and the warehouse people, because office people work in one place and the warehouse people in the other place, and they both have their own communities. And what do they need is to work together, because this is how the business works in general. And why is this important? Is because it all starts with the core workers. It starts with physical workers most of all. If there's no physical workers, there will be no business. Somebody needs to get the job done. I don't mean the office guys. The office guys comes later. Of course, like in Amazon, the office guys are very important, and there's plenty of them. But I mean, if all these warehouse guys, for example, in Amazon, would quit one day, then there will be no business. The office workers can do their plans and stuff like that all the time, but they will have to hire a new core to get the job done. And those that get the job done doesn't get paid that much usually. It's not only in Amazon, sorry if I'm bringing Amazon out here, but it's also in other businesses. It's in the big companies, it's like this, and they are earning the profits through that. And how it worked in the past, I'm not going to get too much into this, but basically it was through the slavery. Now it's a little bit more than slavery, because you get paid for this. But yeah, like wars were written because of like people. Roman Empire used slaves, like English Empire used slaves is no secret. Like, this is the history. And to make things profitable, you need those not slaves, but you need physical workers, and to get the job done. And if you would pay them too much, then your company will not earn too much profit, and you cannot scrape it with a rake, so you need to give them just enough to keep them there. That's how it works nowadays. I'm sorry if it offended somebody, and I've been a physical worker as well, and I see that the system is like this. And that's why I'm trying to get you to the better position now. And I mean, it's not always the better position, because I mean, physical workers also have many things that they can do. Like mechanics are getting paid a lot. I mean, it's not that you are a physical worker and you get paid less. No, it's not usually that. Not always like that, but I mean, I speak it how it's generally. So yeah, if you don't agree, you can always leave a comment. So yeah, for example, if there is a problem on the site about the early rollout, let us hear their site first. Now that's also very good point, because if those people from the office of Amazon doesn't go in the warehouse to check how the system operates there, or how it would affect their everyday's work, then you cannot make this decision. Because I mean, you can, but it would be a failed decision, because you didn't hear their sides about it or their suggestions, because they are seeing how it operates every day, and your decision affects them. They will start hating you, maybe. I mean, if it's good, then they're going to start hating you. But if you're like doing very bad decision, you're going to get fired for this. So it would be very good to hear everybody out, talk with people, talk with the other workers, see how they feel, what are the problems, and maybe communicate to your boss as well. And then your boss will say if they can change it or not, and why they cannot. Your boss will tell you all that also. And this would be a magnificent boost for this team. Absolutely. I mean, I think nowadays it's not everybody has time to hear them out, especially managers. They are super busy with their meetings and with all this, not only the internal meetings but also external meetings. I think managers usually have also most of the responsibility for external meetings. So yeah, that would be very good if somebody would deal with this topic, especially when you see that you have more time than you need in your office. Then why not to hear them out first? So yeah, always hear out those guys that are actually doing this job. See their schedules, and see their previous schedules and so on. Like what kind of job did they do? What was the timetable? Furthermore, I'm really happy to see that even if I'm not selected, it is all good, because right now this team expands and has more people to go through more aspects that are essential before the rollouts. You basically here say something similar to here, but not always. I mean, not all of this is connected with this, but what you are saying first is that you're saying that hey guys, if I'm not selected, it's okay, no hard feelings, because sometimes it can be very impactful and can lower your morale than when you get rejected. But it's always good to say that if I'm not getting selected, then no hard feelings. And this is because we're all humans, and they have to also select somebody out of like 200 people, right? And even if you're not selected, it's okay. Maybe they can get back to you if you're like second best. Then you can maybe even get the job, because maybe this first one was finding another offer that was even better. So there might be a lot of things that you might consider, or maybe after 5 years you have worked in some other place, and then this open job opening opens again, and you can see that online, and you want to apply again. And if they remember you being angry about not getting the job, then I mean, you're not living a very good idea for them, or your reputation might be a little bit ruined for them already. And you never know when you can see the people again in your life. So sometimes this Lama Energy guy can, or the manager that was in your department, you can see them in like Lidl or somebody or some supermarket or whatever. Like it would be weird if you was like, it's like a breakup, you want to break up happily or angrily. Of course, like a breakup is different because sometimes it happens angrily and you don't want to see those faces again, because it's not the same as not just getting rejected by one job, but just sorry about the comparison, but anyways, this is good to mention that no hard feelings, and maybe our paths cross again. You never know in the future that what's going to happen. Maybe happen some kind of just an opening, and or they call you back and say that, oh, we did the wrong choice, that the other person was in the probation period and she wasn't good for us, so maybe you can still try if you're still looking for a job. You never know, and it's good to always be okay with it. Shows that you can take criticism well, shows your matureness, and I think it's very good to mention this. And this cover letter has already shown so many things that I've already mentioned. For me, more details about my backgrounds, please review my enclosed resume. And here should be actually also, and training list, and the training list. Okay. Yeah, this one was okay. Anyways, why is that now important? That is important because if you can basically give the contacts after this cover letter, otherwise they will have to find everything, or they know that what else was there with your cover letter, what is in the one bundle that they have on their table, or in the folder, like nowadays maybe they put it in the folder somewhere, I mean in the computer, but anyways, yeah, you're showing them that you still have 2 more documents in case they are more interested what you have done, and they might be reading those. I believe that I can be the electrical engineer that you are looking for, and welcome the opportunity to speak with you at your earliest convenience. Yeah, that's something that you believe in yourself, and then if they are interested, then in the earliest convenience they can contact you for sure, and you leave your contact here. So sincerely, and your 3 contacts, that is your like email, maybe LinkedIn page would be also here, but I don't know. I think they can just write you an email, or yeah, if you're okay, then they can also contact you through the LinkedIn or call you. That's the best choice. So yeah, that's the cover letter for you. I think it was a okayish cover letter, and I also want to show you this training list before I end my video here, because training list is also something that I was discovering that is actually very, very good thing to have. Okay, I have awesome face here, but not here. So that's a little bit more dull now. You cannot see the face anymore. But anyways, what did I do here? So I put training course and self-study. There are 2 categories actually. I will just I forgot to to this, and this. Okay. So what is here? Training course Tate host skills learned. Now this one is for the past trainings that you had. Something that was important trainings that you had in your work life or in your school life. I mean, the school life as known as the university. And this brings out those ones that are actually, other people were training you or mentoring you for this. Even if it was for the whole seminar room, is still sometimes good to mention, because otherwise, company might send you there anyways. But if you have proceed some of them, then they might save some costs and not send you there anymore. And here, for example, I have JavaScript from zero to hero, and this I took. Kira was taking from the 2nd of January after the New Year's promise till the 2nd of June. And the host was Codefinity, which is I think it was a website that was training you this JavaScript for the was basically providing a training course in the website. Now there's a lot of training courses even for the Google Sheets and stuff like that, very important ones, and all these things should be displayed here. That's actually what actually matter with your job that you want to get. So yeah, I mean, they wouldn't spend some effort, or they would know that once you're hired, you already have been familiar with these topics. Very important. This is actually I had this idea because that was the reason that I was a second best in one of these selections. So basically why it was the second best was I didn't have anything like this before, and I didn't have, even if I had this, I wouldn't have had the right things that is needed to be here. So maybe, for example, those training courses is from the other industry. Maybe she was studying something else, not electrical engineering, but some kind of material science instead. So I mean, there might be many cases, and if you have trainings for material science here, they are not going to be as influential to the electrical engineer position as the electrical engineer how you say it, trainings would be. But they're still good to be marked down, because some of them can be very connected between the industries, and might be still good to mention. So yeah, JavaScript and skills learned was explore new technology fields. So yeah, it's something that was on this web page there that you can. I'm not doing promotion, I swear, but maybe they can see it as a promotion if they ever watch my video. I don't think that many people are watching this video anyways. And yeah, so explore new technology fields and etc. I think maybe it's more for advanced scripters already, but who knows. Anyways, it's very important to display also this that you have actually took this training course, and your mind was there, that basically you were always learning something instead of just going it through and then forgetting about it later. So yeah, once you write here that you were actually getting familiar with some aspects that were there, then the employer will believe you that you took this training course. That's why this fourth column is important. And host is also important because host is sometimes this kind of important people or that is in this industry, has been very long time in the industry, know everybody, or not know everybody, but know like many people in this industry or has many connections there. So if they see that, oh, for example, this Jürgen Heinz was very, you know, known name and big mentor in this industry, then maybe the employer knows him. And yeah, so the date is also important because then they will know that if you need to refresh that, if you need to take this course again, or when was the last time that you met with this, maybe you forgot about some stuff, and if you took it recently, then you probably know about this topic very well. And so I also have like measuring lab here that she took 3rd of March in 2022 at the university. And this Jürgen Heinz from Heinrich Heine University was this, the lecturer that was basically. This is a made-up name. I don't think that I think Heinrich Heine universities definitely exist, and GoFility also because I checked. But anyways, this one is a made-up name. And what did you learn? Basic practical skills of measuring electrical circuits. Now, why is this lab important to mention? Is that sometimes at school you just study theory, but you kind of need practical skills also before you go to the job. And once you have proceeded or like completed some labs, then you already know more about how is it maybe working in reality or how those components work with each other. So I think this lab is good to mention. And then electromechanical energy converter, date was 21st of April 2023, and Frank Jungeberg was this professor. And basic knowledge about layout and parts of the converter. Converter is something that is used in the electrical industry to make like electricity out of this hydro plant maybe, and this is a very big component there. So if you know well and true from this about this component, then you will already have big advantage, especially when they're using the same component at their work. And then Stadtwerke Essen company visits. Sometimes it's good to mention those company visits also, because sometimes it's important companies that you visit, and there's some important CEO or not CEOs. Usually they are more like this experts in their own field, and maybe your employer knows them again, or is there competition that you saw some information there with the visit. It can be anything there that can be useful. And basic practical knowledge about the operations in the industry. How the operations there in the electronics electrical industry work. And now the other table is about self-study. This is about the law, and I checked the German law page, translated it to English, but I'm not very sure how well it translates to English. So basically this is a real thing here that you can learn about yourself as well if you are interested in electrical engineering, but and in Germany. However, it's a law about placing on the markets return environmentally friendly disposal of electrical and electronic equipment. So good environmentally friendly ways and how to be competitive, right? Basic knowledge about regulation of electrical and electronics markets. Now here you can see that there's no host because obviously you read it by yourself, and maybe the host was like German government, but they already know it based on this column here. So I don't think you need to bring it out, but you can bring it out, it's fine. And also there might be some very important annex or appendix that is related to the law, that usually those annexes or appendixes are in more detail than like this one is the general information and maybe some I don't know, fines and stuff, but this one is more detailed, that what, where and when to do, or something like this, is the point of annexes and appendixes. So sometimes these annexes and appendixes are very important, and trust me, but they might be very important because in my work I was also seeing that some appendixes are like very having very high stakes, and not everybody is met with them because they think that reading this is already enough, but it's not, because this one gives you more down to earth explanation about things and how it actually works, and there's more stuff regulated there, and it's also basically is the law anyways. So if you don't read it, you're missing the part of the law basically, or you're missing, or you don't know how this general thing distributes. Then I mean, Annex can help you out very well with this. Is more detailed explanation about categorization of electrical and electronic equipment. That's very important that you know those categories. Maybe without knowing those categories you cannot work there, or like what tool is in which category, or what of kind of like how you say this equipment belongs to which category. So that's a very good thing to read also, I think. And yeah, the final thesis about power outages in Germany, as also was in the CV video. Kira had the final thesis about power outages, and here's the dates that she was doing it for like 7 months, and study about how frequent are power outages in Germany and in which regions. So that's also sometimes very good to mention, because you have done some research about it online also, and maybe ask some data from the government, and it can be very impactful again. They will see that you have done plenty of work before, even like for your candidation, and I highly suggest you guys, let's go back to cover letter here, that basically the companies that you really want to get into, the best offers in the market, this is how I would do for it too. Like basically I would send similar cover letter, similar training list to the best ones that I really want to work for. Maybe for the other ones that are like, if I get this job, then it should be like okay. If I don't get the other opportunity, then I will go to there. Then you can maybe not having such a strong cover letter, or you can just change some minor data here about the position and the page and stuff. But if you really want to get somewhere specific, then I advise you to highly change the cover letter. Training list you don't have to change. It's like only when you're having a new training, but usually when you're searching for the job you might not have the time for it. So yeah, cover letter is important to change, especially when you want to apply to something that you really like. And yeah, if there's something that you don't like that much, then maybe it's better to send some kind of cover letter instead of like no cover letter. And this one is more like a general one. It's not in details with the requirements of the company. I mean, if the company is bringing out the requirement that have at least like a driver's license or something, then you can say in this cover letter that hey, and getting from point A to point B, I have no problem with as well because I have this category of driver's license. So yeah, there's many ways to build it up, but I will also suggest you guys to keep it like 1 or 2 pager. I keep it 1 here, but I think 2 pager for the cover letter should be fine as well, because you know, it's a cover letter. It's more, should be more in detail than the CV itself. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And yeah, I think we have reached finally to the end of this video. Sorry that it took so much time to make. So there was a huge break before I was releasing this one, since I was have to do a decent fun for you guys. It's an important topic for candidating somewhere. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope I will get views and likes. But who knows, nowadays it's very difficult with the algorithms and stuff. So let's see how it goes. I still do it as my hobby, and remember guys, I'm doing it because I got, you know, burned many times at work, in many places, different places. So that's why I want you to be ready for unexpected stuff, and I will get into that later also. I mean, right now I'm doing sharp church-based videos, but later I will do the things to do at work, how to keep the work and stuff like that, and how to operate in the office and so on. So yeah, keep tuned for this, and even if I help only one person, my mission is already succeeded. So I really hope that even I can help somebody with this, and that's why I'm doing this as my hobby. That even if it's just one person out of like, it doesn't have to be like 100 people that I help. I need to help only one, and then I will already feel that I have done very well for myself and done some good deeds in this world. And even if there is like, you know, 10,000 or 100,000 people watching this, then it's not that special anymore. So right now it's special. Make the best of it, guys, until this channel is not so successful yet. So yeah, I will see you guys next time in probably in the weekend, Friday or Saturday. And until then, peace out and stay tuned. Thanks for watching.